This was my alarm clock today. Honestly, I thought it was a magnitude of 9.
Today's earthquake caught us still in bed. We slept, of course, but, as always in such situations, I try to listen first to how intense the tremors are and whether it is worth getting up.
There is a 99.9% probability that this is the strongest aftershock we were expecting.
Today's earthquake caught us still in bed. We slept, of course, but, as always in such situations, I try to listen first to how intense the tremors are and whether it is worth getting up. Recent earthquakes have led to slightly reduced internal panic, because the brain simply gets used to stress. Today, I just laid there, trying to understand how critical the situation was. And, of course, when I realized that there was a strong tremor, I immediately ran to my child. Probably the best thing to do is just not to panic, which, of course, completely contradicts our basic instincts. Fight, flight, or freeze, right? Well, the third is probably the best option here. Actually, that's what I did. I just took him, child, in my arms and waited out the strong tremors. Since my husband is a survey engineer and has been inspecting buildings after earthquakes and so on for 6 years, he informed me on the whole situation and explained that panel buildings have hidden seismic resistance. We should not be afraid. Especially after the previous earthquake, the buildings proved that they are quite robust. Of course, it's one thing to accept this in theory, but it's another thing to experience a real earthquake in all these panel buildings. It's very scary.
This was my alarm clock today. Honestly, I thought it was a magnitude of 9. I thought that was it. The time had come, but now everything is fine. There's a certain tolerance, but there is still a slight anxiety when the tremors begin. There are two choices. Either they begin to subside, or this is only the beginning, and they start growing. Naturally, when an earthquake occurs in our shop, that's it. It's evacuation time. We run, everyone leaves the building. Then the anxiety rises. Unfortunately, our partner's products, thermoses, and board games were damaged. We had to write it all off as defective because they fell from up high. Tourists are quite strange. It seems as though they have come specifically for this. In reality, it is quite rare to see anyone panicking. It begins trembling and they are like, "Oh, finally." I don't know what's going on in their heads, but in fact many of them get excited. We try to warn them. It's dangerous. You have to leave. Some respond, "Why? Let's stay here."
There is a 99.9% probability that this is the strongest aftershock we were expecting, and now we've got it. Judging by all accounts, it's a little stronger than we anticipated. We should focus on that scenario because it is the most likely one, that this is the strongest aftershock and the following ones will be weaker. I think we can expect another one like the previous one on the 13th. We should not rule the danger out yet. It will not cause damage in the city, but it will bother everyone, of course. As we can see, it is quite possible to survive this.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.